Right. Welcome back.
Oh shit, we're actually filming. Oh my god.
I was going to say happy 20th anniversary. Happy 20th episode.
Happiest 20th anniversary.
Happy 20th anniversary. Who would have thought? Not
We're a
me.
bit, I'm not gonna lie, we're a bit cooked.
A bit cooked.
Take me out the fucking fridge, I'm done. Out the fridge? Out the oven.
And she said, let's take another edible.
Let's do the fucking other half. Like, we have work tomorrow, but it's totally fine.
No.
Like,
Anyway,
Azal.
happy 20th.
And basically, we picked the best episode to be high to.
Yeah. Disappointing our younger selves.
It's actually advice to our younger self, but...
Yeah. Advice to our younger selves. God. Where to
So-
start?
We'll start with what we were like as children.
Right, you go first.
I was a shit head. I was an absolute shit. I was naughty. I was disrespectful. But I was fucking funny, though. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. This Monster is... Do you know what? We should so get sponsored by Monster.
We should reach out to them. I'll reach out to them.
And say what? We have one subscriber?
Yeah. Help us.
This
Help
is like,
you.
This is like peach iced tea.
Oh, shut
So it's the... Dude, should we do a whole episode where we just review Monsters?
That's gonna be...
No, you take a sip. You wouldn't finish it.
I was like, you crazy bitch. Yeah.
This is like... So this is the Monster Monarch flavour. Oh my god, it's like wine tasting, but with
Monsters.
emo teenagers.
Oh my god. I want to keep this can.
Welcome back to our emo teenager wine tasting.
Yes, I have to show you the TikTok. Cheers.
Anyway.
No!
Should we start again?
No. It's chaos.
It's chaotic episode. We're gonna get like no views on this.
Oh.
So this is the Monster Lewis Hamilton flavour. That's actually sick. Ba-da-ba. It's
I
like
like
iced tea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
So, what
Right.
we were like as children. What we were like as children. I was a shithead, but I said to my mom, it would be so boring if you had two well-behaved children.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be so bored.
You were the life of the party.
That's it. Like, nobody wants to go out with their friends and hear how they have two immaculately well-behaved children. Like, nothing was wrong. They
They're
were
all
so
perfect.
good. They're the light of my life. Like, boring. Like, yeah, I was a shithead, but I was fun, at least.
I was not fun. I was not funny. I was very shy. I didn't speak. I had no friends. So I would be my friend now.
Sick. Actually, to be fair, like, would I be my friend when I was a kid?
No.
No. I was an arsehole. But I was funny.
I'm just a better version of myself now, and so I'm very happy with where I am, and so, yeah, I'm very proud. The fact that I was essentially selectively mute, and now I could speak full...
Is that because English was essentially your
likely.
second language?
Most likely, but also we used to move a lot, so I was like, what's the point of making friends? I'm gonna move, you know. But now I've been here for 7 years, have my friends, have a house, rented. I haven't bought anything yet.
Please.
And yeah, so that's what I was. I was very introverted, so I think what helped me was sort of moving out. I didn't really...
I know, but I think so too. For myself, it basically gave me a wake-up call to be like,
Yeah.
yo,
Hello.
get your shit together. Because, like, when you're a kid and you're naughty, 9 times out of 10, your parents are gonna come in and save the day.
Yeah.
But, like, when you're an adult, you've literally got to own your shit.
Yeah.
So, like, there have been many times where I've had to, like, sit myself down and go, right,
Girly pop.
yeah, come on, let's get
get our
together.
shit together.
Or even just sort of like, yeah, you should probably say sorry for whatever you did, fix
Yeah.
whatever you broke, like, you know, and that's the sort of joy of growing up. Lies.
Lies.
If I could go back tomorrow and have my mum fix all my mistakes for me, would I? Yes.
Absolutely. Still to this day, I still call my mom in tears.
Oh,
I'm like,
gotcha. But what do I do?
Mom.
That's a good piece of advice. Never take your mum, if you are blessed to have one, for granted.
And also, just because you move out doesn't mean you're still not her baby and you
And
still
they stop
know
being your parent.
everything.
Yeah, 100%. You know
Like,
nothing, actually.
You know nothing, and it's okay to ask for help, and that's something that
Like-
I've recently found out.
My mum still calls my grandma for advice all the time. She's like a 54-year-old woman.
Honestly.
Like, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you never stop
Being...
But also, you never stop learning. Like, you never stop that moment where you go, am I doing the right thing? And like I said, if you're blessed to have a mom or a dad where you can talk about these things to, you're so blessed. But also as well, even if you don't have those parental figures in your life, there will be somebody that you see as a parental figure.
Whether it's an older sister, an older friend,
auntie, uncle, foster parent, whatever. Like, don't ever take those for granted.
Ask for help. They're there for you. So
there you go.
Yeah.
But like, mistakes I've made.
What's the probably like
everybody asks me this question, what's the biggest mistake I've ever made? I don't know.
I think it's such a difficult question. Because, like, my definition of difficult at 25 is completely different than my difficult... I think probably for me at 17 was, like, I had to spend £30 on shoes.
Yeah, biggest mistake
of
my life.
£30, I took a deep breath. You know?
I think one of the biggest mistakes of my life is probably not being kinder to my parents. So, obviously, like I said, when I was younger, I was, like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't, like, a delinquent, but I was rebellious.
Yeah.
I was naughty. I was quite, I could be quite argumentative when I was a teenager. Well, when I was a child and even a teenager. I was quite stubborn. So, like, you know, it was sometimes challenging to get through to me. And as a teenager, I was obviously very angry about what? I don't know.
Teenage years.
So, yeah, that's not a mistake, it's something I regret. Do I let it sort of corrode my life? No. Because I'm making up for it now. Like, do you know what I mean? With your family particularly, there's never a time limit on making it up or making things right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's
also,
an ever-changing, timeline.
I'm not saying it is an excuse, but I was a child.
Yeah,
sort of
for
thing.
sure.
Like, so I would say that would be a really big mistake. Like I would do something wrong, I'd get told off, and there would be days before I go to my mum or my dad and they go, I'm sorry. And even then, it was sometimes forced just
you didn't really mean it. It was
just to get over this stupid
empty promises.
Yeah, just these just being grounded or not talking to each other or whatever it was. I'd just be like, I'm sorry, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I think on a similar vein, mine was not saying I love you enough, even though I really did. I didn't really say I love you to my parents until I was like 17.
It's a hard concept though.
Yeah, but I think for me it was more our relationship was incredibly rocky during high school.
I don't think I said to my dad particularly. I said it to my mum. I don't think I said.
I think culturally it's just different.
I think I've said it maybe twice to my dad.
Yeah, I think it's first off culturally different. I find that my mum's family is like incredibly cool. I think my mum's family is incredibly like loving and always
it's a different kind of love.
Show love, and I'm more like my dad's side, so it's just very reserved and we only say it when we really mean it. And so the fact that I'm already very much like my dad's side already put me away from saying it so often. But then with the rocky relationship, I didn't really say it until like before I left for uni. So I don't think I've ever said I love you. Maybe as a baby, you know, babies say everything.
I had an argument before I left for uni with my parents.
Yeah, my sister.
I think they forgot to bring. Literally, it was so innocuous. They forgot to bring something, and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake! I really needed this." And they were like, "What?" They were like, "What the hell?" But obviously, looking back on that now, I was stressed. I was moving out, and then they were just like, "I was just like, you can go," and I regret that because, like, you know, obviously it was hard, but like. I was just so stressed, so angry. I was like, "Oh, you can go," and they were like, I think they were quite hurt by that. They were like,
"I'm hurt for them."
They were like,
"Go."
They were like, "Okay, bye," and they literally just left. They literally just left. It was like actually quite bad.
Yeah.
But like I was obviously something. I was stressed and stuff like that, and I think I wanted my transition to be as comfortable as it could be on that day.
Yeah.
And I think it was something silly like a bath mat. Or a towel, or something so silly that we'd forgotten to bring. Yeah. But in my brain, I was like, I needed everything today. Because I'm moving and stuff like that. And as you grow up, you kind of your field of vision pans out, doesn't it?
I now see why my parents raised me a certain way or said certain things. Was it still cruel? Yes, I'll never forget. But
best days of my life.
Best days of my life. Therapy since I was anyway. Yeah, I think now, advice to my younger self, in this context would be actually listen to parents, which is silly because it's sort of, you sort of have to have that phase where you don't want to listen to your parents in order to further listen and say you're right, but I will never tell my parents that they were right. Because I'm stubborn, and
best piece of advice somebody's given to me is that, like, every step you take... I
have another one. Sorry.
Every move you make...
I'll be watching it.
It's every breath you... Yeah, I'll be watching it. That's the best... No, the best piece of advice is, like, everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson. Okay?
Yes.
So, like, take... Like, similar, like, how we were talking before, like, take every single piece that comes your way and see it as either an opportunity to learn something or an opportunity to grow and develop.
Yeah.
Like, I came to that kind of late, unfortunately, but, you know, life is infinite. No, but, like, yeah, so if something goes wrong, don't get too hard on yourself. Be like, oh, I suppose I learnt this, or I suppose I learnt that. That's one takeaway kind of thing. I mean, you can feel the emotions you're feeling, that's totally fine, but don't let it ruin your day. Don't let it ruin your life. Just be like, okay, lesson learned. Lesson learned. I'm going to take that and I'm going to move on kind of thing. Yeah. It's like fuel for the future.
And also, it's not always something about learning what you'd like to do. A lot of the times, honestly, like 90% is what you want to do. You learn what you learn what you don't want to do. Like, if you're in a job and you can say you've learned what not to do.
100%, yeah.
In a job.
You can have a really shitty job and be like, I absolutely hate this and I'm going to leave. But at least you've got something.
You now know what to, like, for example, put in or not put in your own practice as you develop as a professional.
Exactly, and we as people, we learn from others, don't we? So you're either you can take behaviours and advice from other people, and don't, like, you know, I grew up a lot of my life being really, really stubborn.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you're a child, that's totally fine. You know, you're a
Normal.
child, you've got to learn, haven't you?
But now it's a matter of unlearning these stubborn habits.
I often say I'm tumbling through life.
Everyone's winging it.
Like, 100%.
Let me tell you.
Nobody knows what they're doing.
That's one thing I will tell you. Everyone's winging it. And it's difficult to see it when you're at university and everyone's 20 and going through all these things. But, like, I'm working with, like, 40-year-olds who still have no idea what they're doing.
I'm a 40-year-old teenager.
Yes.
And, like, as well, everybody has to start somewhere.
And everybody has a timeline. Do not compare yourself.
Oh, my God.
Especially the people you went to uni with, where you all started and did the same thing.
I'm still, like, telling myself that now.
Oh, yeah,
Stop comparing yourself.
Stop comparing yourself. Like, it's a thief of joy and thief of security within oneself.
Oh, 100%. Like, it will eat you alive.
It will eat you alive, and it will cause a lot of self-doubt that I wish I sort of would have avoided.
It's wasted energy, isn't it? Because, like, think about... So, like, literally, if you're sat... Like, don't get me wrong. You compare yourself to others in terms of, like...
job and salary and stuff.
Not even that. No, like, there are times... I mean, yes, 100%. There are times to compare yourself to others, you know... I really like what so-and-so did. I'm going to do that. Or, you know, so-and-so's such a good conversationalist. I'd love to learn some tips from them.
Yeah.
Great, fine. But when you're spending your morning, noon and night going, oh, so-and-so has this. I don't have that. Yeah. So-and-so is this. I don't have that. Why do I not have that? Where's my turn? When's it going to be my turn?
When is it my turn? But I think also I used to be like that. It's like, my
100%.
friends, especially growing up as, like, the poorer friend in a very rich, people-filled private school, I was like, oh my God, they have a MacBook. This MacBook, we're recording it now, is my first MacBook I've ever gotten.
Exactly.
Like, it's so completely different, but they're still stuck in their small town ways wherever we were, and I've travelled the world and met so many people and experienced so many things. So, like, it's sort of...
that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it just wastes your energy. Like, all that time you've spent going, oh, so-and-so has this, so-and-so has this, so-and-so has this. You literally could have spent on bettering yourself, doing something else and stuff like that. Like, it's such a time vampire comparing yourself to others. And I still do it? Yeah.
I think
Can't help yourself.
My mum and I had that conversation quite early on in my childhood. I remember it very vividly because I was doing gymnastics, and one of my friends, she was a year younger, and she was just incredible at gymnastics.
Yeah.
She did all the competitions. She had the pretty dresses. And
A ghost.
I was like, Mum, I want to be her. And she was like, do you? Well,
yeah.
Do you know she doesn't have a dad? And I was like, what?
What?
Oh! And she said that, and I was like,
what
at least you have a dad that comes home and
that's
loves you.
I mean,
and
the point
was made, but I was 7.
There, but I was shocked.
I was
Even you
7.
just saying that, I'm like, but
I was 7.
So for me, do you know? She doesn't have a dad. But
she doesn't have a dad. What?
Like, do you know what I mean? Like literal curveball.
Yeah, that's why I remember it. I was like,
Mum, where did that come from?
What? No, I want my dad. I love Dad. What?
But also, not just what you could have said. I bet there are things that she wishes she had that you have, rather than she doesn't have a dad.
Yeah, like maybe
but delivery, hon.
Yeah, my mom's never been good at that. But I've always, even though I think that was like so shocking to me, right?
That's the thing.
I don't express it anymore. I still am so incredibly like comparing myself, but at the same time I'm sort of
do it like
letting Lord take the wheel. And
I even like sometimes do it like when I'm like even freaking maybe watching like a video on YouTube, like if I'm doing like a Pilates class or a yoga class on YouTube, and I'm like, God, I wish I was like flexible like her.
I wish I was
but
skinny.
Actually, if you look at like I wish I was as toned as her, I wish I was tanned as her. But you look at the perspective of it. So the lady that I do my Pilates classes with online,
who is it?
Lives Move with Nicole.
Okay, great. I started her.
So the lady I do that with on YouTube, she fucking lives in Australia.
Yeah,
she films 3 videos a day. A day! She used to be a dancer. She used to be a gymnast. Like...
Yeah, girl.
Like, come on.
I'm not a gymnast.
Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Lipstick in my white Valentino bag! But, like, do you know what I mean? Like, when you actually...
That's so niche.
But when you... All my Vine kids out there... But when you, like, actually open your eyes and, like... I can't swim.
Oh my god, we should
Shut up! We should so just do an episode where we just go
vines.
we just go through our favourite vines.
We poetically say vines.
Yeah, not even poetically. Like, have you seen that, like...
How many vines could we do?
Have you seen that TikTok that's like, what's one obscure reference that you quote daily and everybody misses? And I literally just say, fuck your chicken strips!
Yep.
Like, regularly.
Yeah, the one that really pisses my family off is road work ahead.
I sure hope
it does.
No,
I keep it going. There was like road work ends in 1 mile, and I'd be like, oh shit, guys.
I'm just going to show you something really funny. So literally, this is so off topic. Anyway.
Beats on the way.
Yeah, I sure hope it is. And I can't get rid of that photo.
Don't.
So there's a takeaway spot near me. And me and my partner were looking on Uber Eats, and we were looking at, it's called Pizza on the Way, and I literally turned to him and I go, yeah, I sure hope it is. And he was like, what?
He's old.
He remembers some vines. He's like, what? And I'm like, bitch.
I forget he's actually not that much older than us.
He's 5 years older than us.
He is 30.
He's 30.
He is 30.
Boring as fuck.
I thought it was 27 for a second. I was like,
no. But back to what we were talking about.
I think also as I grow up, I've seen a lot of videos of like old women giving themselves advice.
Oh yeah, I love those.
And I think the one that really stuck to me is like, it will work out.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah,
it will like stop. Someone said, I wish I stopped worrying about silly shit because it will all work out.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that's one that I'm going through a job transition right now. And I think that's one where I'm just sort of like, I've done my hard work, everything will work out, so I'm not stressed.
That's it.
Mind you, if you are just sitting on your sofa, not looking for work.
Yeah, fine.
It won't work out.
Like,
if you put the hard work and dedication.
It's that saying of sort of, this too shall pass. Like, you'll look back in a few months' time and go, remember that time?
We'll giggle.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so I think it will work out if you put in the work.
It's a really helpful technique to sort of, because we all do it, when you're negative thinking, when you're comparing yourself to others, when you're going, me. Literally just go, okay, I'm gonna open the perspective a bit. So, basically like when you're at the cinema and all the trailers are playing, and then the film plays and the screen widens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Like,
oh, yeah.
Just literally give yourself the other, like, literally say out loud sometimes the other perspective. So I'm sat there, like, maybe if you use your job transition idea, why don't I have a job? Oh my god, I'm so silly, I shouldn't have left. And it's like, well, actually, I took a win for my mental health, and I will find a job. You know, I have good support networks and stuff like that. Like, if you just open the field of vision slightly.
And sometimes you do have to take that risk if it, you know, because for me, I'm leaving a job because it was a very hostile environment, and I didn't have a job when I left. That's the first question when I told them I was leaving, everyone was like, do you have a job to go to? Like, that was the first question, and I was like, no. And I just saw people's faces drop. But I was like, listen, I'd rather move back home for 3 weeks than destroy my mental health anymore. So, we are.
That's it, you know. And, you know, we get leaps of faith sometimes, don't we? And they work out sometimes.
And everything's lining up perfectly if you've done the job, so it works. Literally. So, don't stress. I think that's the one thing that's sort of keeping me... It's a massive one. I think it's genuinely saving me a lot of anxiety.
It's so hard, though, isn't it? Because life in of itself is fucking stressful. Life is stressful. Like, don't get me wrong. So there's 2 different types of stress, basically. There's deadline stress, which is, oh my god, this is coming up, I'm really, really stressed.
I have to do it.
Which is healthy, which is fine. And there's circumstantial stress, which is just stressing for any old reason because the circumstance takes you.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, so, like, deadline stress, something is impending and you're waiting for it and you're stressed. Circumstance stress is kind of... It's hard to describe. It's kind of like...
I think it's just, like, more financial worries and, you know, health worries. Where exactly. It's, like, very circumstantial.
So there's no deadline impending, but it's just something... Circumstance stress is something playing on your mind, basically.
Yeah. And I think, for me, at the moment, it's more like, I'm starting a new job, pays less, we'll be happier. So it's sort of, you know... I also think, based on sad... life events in the past few years, I think life has taught me that it can be cut short so quickly.
You so have to just...
So, if I had to take a risk and be broke, fine. But am I having the time of my life doing the job that I love? Yes.
Am I having the time of my life doing fuck all? Yeah.
Yeah. Do I think my body needs a rest and probably working part-time is probably for the better? Maybe, because it's been a crazy year. But I think take that risk, because if you... don't take care of yourself now while you're young, youthful, innocent, it will come back up.
Somebody said a really good piece of advice to me. If you don't look after yourself now, somebody else will.
Oh, fuck. That just, like, really set in.
Yeah, if you don't look after yourself now, somebody else will be doing it for you.
Yeah.
Whether that's a doctor, a parent, you know, a carer, whatever.
Yeah, so...
That's physically and mentally.
Yeah, so literally take care of yourself. And I'm not saying join... What's it called?
The Freemasons?
No, CrossFit and, like, work out for the rest of your life. A lot of it is taking these times to rest. And
do you know what
if you've been under a lot of stress, it might be more mental. And I feel like...
But do you think that those fucking, like... gym bros, like those fucking roidy bastards, do you think they're happy?
No,
because like it's literally taken over, like exercise and fitness.
I think
there's a very fine whole life.
There's a very fine line
between
no, like
what?
I think it's a fine line between being happy and being like addicted, essentially.
Because like you're monitoring everything, aren't you? You're monitoring yourself at the gym. You're monitoring what you eat. You're monitoring how much sleep you get. You're monitoring your heart rate, so how stressed you get.
I don't know.
Like, these people are not happy.
And like, everyone has a different definition of happy, so that's it.
100%. Like,
mine's walk is in my park.
Like, you know, the world's not going to end, and you're not going to lose all your muscle if, you know, you have
miss
a cake.
One day.
You miss a day, you miss a week, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, saying that, like... I'm so good at giving people advice, but not taking it,
because coaches don't play.
That's a horrible... I mean, it's so accurate.
It's
true. Horrible phrase.
It is. But the amount of times where, like, especially with, like, relationships and stuff, people are like, oh my god, you're so good at giving advice with, like, for relationships. But I've never had a serious one. Why? Because coaches don't play. Coaches just watch and, like, delegate. And that's why I have the job that I have.
No, it's so much easier to be an observer, isn't it? We critique films, don't we? We critique food.
But let's critique ourselves.
We critique music. Could I get up on stage in front of 50,000 people and play the guitar?
Fuck that.
No.
No, I could barely say a sentence straight without, like,
Could
mumbling.
I be Anne Hathaway in Les Mis? Better than her.
Oh.
I hate Anne Hathaway, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No, but, like, that it gets to the point, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
Yes, okay, coaches don't play, but the reason for that is because they're, like, it's so much easier to sit on the sidelines and comment and comment and comment.
Yeah.
Like...
And not take the
But,
criticism.
like, do you know what I mean? You can reflect, and I think that's really, really, a really important piece of advice to give yourself, is you need to reflect constantly.
Both good and bad.
Yeah, oh my
and
god,
I
the
think,
good, the bad, and the ugly.
I think we all think we're saints in our own, like, we're all in our own little fucking bubble in our brain. And there's no denying that. Everyone thinks we're in like our own universe and we're the center of it. And we're always the same. We're always the good guy. And I never do anything wrong. And I think as I've grown up and I've gotten into situations with people, it's sort of doing that reflection and saying, right, in the moment, did I think I was right and they were wrong? Yes. Will I apologize when I've actually done some reflection and said, actually, maybe they were right for saying this, but, you know, maybe the way they said it is not good.
Because that's your time
that's
your time to give yourself advice, is in moments of reflection.
Oh my god, yeah. And learn from your own mistakes.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting, isn't it, on the topic of, like, advice to our younger self, because hindsight is 20/20 and stuff like that, and I often sometimes think, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I did this, or I did this, and I did this. And it's good to think about sometimes, but it's also can be kind of like...
Don't dwell on it.
Yeah, don't dwell on it as
Don't dwell on it, because it's gonna... I think I dwelled too much on it during the pandemic.
And it's so interesting, because, like, you know, if I'd given myself this advice that I'm giving now, to actually had that opportunity to go back in time and give myself that advice... Younger me would probably just be like, fuck off.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Like,
and
you
also
think
as
you're
well,
cool?
like, you wouldn't be as much of a fun kid because you'd have adult skill sets that we're talking about.
And that's the thing. I think because I essentially had to become a carer for my siblings at 13, I feel like I was, during high school and my early years of university, I was very strict with myself.
Boring.
And it was boring. And I'll say it, like, I was scared of spending too much money. I was incredibly frugal and did not have fun because I was a 12-year-old who suddenly has become 35 with a mortgage and 2 kids.
Yeah.
Because I had to step up to be the parent because the situation at home was that. And so now I feel like I'm exploring and doing dumb shit because I didn't have a chance to do it while I was in high school. And so now I'm sort of the opposite, where my sister is abusing of the fact that my parents can afford to support us, so she's
100%.
She's going out. She's going out every day. She's spending so much money and then asking my parents for money and, like, not being responsible. And I'm the opposite. I have to,
But the thing is, though, she'll learn from that.
Yeah. But I have to unlearn to be that frugal because I was, I was given £50 for a week and told my parents had to, buy food for everyone on $50. Yeah. Which back in the day was fine. Not now.
That was a weekly shop, by the way, for those
not
slightly
even
younger listeners.
In Asda 7 years ago, I could get £30 worth of food and it would last me 2 weeks.
Yeah, 100 family meal.
Yeah.
Family meal?
No, but this is
family. You know what I mean?
No.
Buying food for a family. That would feed a family. That would feed a family.
Yeah. But now, like, 45 is basics. So, HelloFresh. Hi. Anyway, this is not paid. But, yeah, so I think now I'm enjoying myself as I would have done in university. So it's also unlearning, being aware of what you have to unlearn.
I'm interestingly the opposite. Like, when I was younger, I was similar to your sister, and I literally just had everything and anything at my disposal. Like, my parents there were rules in place, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, but within...
There wasn't many. So of course I was like, okay, how far can I take this? This inch kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm having to actually sort of regulate myself and regulate my life just slightly more. And interestingly, it's actually probably better that I'm doing it as an adult and going like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, rather than, because I feel like if my parents did that to me constantly, I would have been maybe a more fearful adult. Maybe I would have been a less sort of like, I'm not a risk taker, but less sort of spontaneous. Yeah. Because I'd be like, oh, Mum taught me I've always got to consider this, I've always got to consider this.
Yeah, and that's how I grew up.
So I've kind of like, yes, okay, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I'm like thankful that my parents let me make those mistakes on my own and go, okay, actually. Because, like, if your parents just do everything for you...
You're not a person.
You're not independent either. And, like, you have to do it on your own. You have to. It's the rules.
It's
the rules.
It's the rules, and you have to play the game. And I think what changed a lot for me was the fact... And it's quite different how I see my parents' struggles growing up, financial struggles growing up. It's like... My brother and my sister have a completely different idea of it.
Yeah, and skill set.
And they're like, oh, Mom and Dad have never been poor. I was like, sorry? Sorry. Because you didn't have to, like, go for groceries and learn how to cook.
Yeah.
At 21, I was much more capable than my sister and my brother combined. Because I was the older kid.
Yeah.
But so for me, it's the opposite. I had a very good conversation with one of my cousin's situationships when I went to California, and it sort of changed the switch immediately, because third year of university, I didn't go out at all. I was so frugal, I was so scared of running out of money, because I had always seen my parents not be financially secure. But they were obviously doing better. And so I didn't go out. I was like, I need to save money in case my parents can't pay my flight home. So I didn't go out. I think I went out like maybe 3 times, if anything, the entire year. And then obviously the world shut down because of COVID, and I was like,
damn,
fuck.
man.
Like, I essentially didn't go out for 3 years straight because I went out 3 times. And so I went to California May 2021, and he was like, we went to a very expensive restaurant. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I saved up for this trip. And they were like, I'll pay it. Because this was an incredible experience. Is it an everyday thing? No, I can't spend $500 every day on lunch. But if I'm here with my girlfriend and her cousin, paying for an experience, I'll pay it any day. And that pay for experience...
But it develops you, whereas, slightly more materialistic things don't.
Yeah, so, I'd rather pay, £600 on hostels around Europe.
Yeah, exactly,
than a bag.
£600 on a hotel, wasn't it?
Than a bag, for example.
Yeah.
So I think that pay for experiences, as soon as I got back to England, I was like, I'm not going to overthink spending money, because money comes back, time doesn't.
But interestingly, somebody told me, if ever you're questioning whether you should or you shouldn't, don't.
Yeah.
And I said, interestingly, that phrase is actually quite controversial and can be quite harmful, because you have to take risks in life.
Yeah.
You have to.
And the decision making is completely different. Obviously, if
that
you're
would lead you to being
a recovering drug addict, don't do drugs. But if you are scared of if you're overthinking £5 for an evening with your friends at the cinema,
interestingly,
you're being stupid.
Interestingly, so the person that told me it about. So she was saying that basically that's a phrase her dad told her when she was younger, and it was literally instilled in her. And it got so bad that as an adult, she had to call her mum because she couldn't decide what brand of crisps to get or something.
Oh fuck. That's horrible.
Because she was literally
I think you were going to say wedding venue or buying a house.
It was so innocuous. She was literally like, Mum, I don't know what to do. I don't know which packet of crisps to pick. And I feel like I just shouldn't. I just should walk away. And it's like,
are you okay?
Just pick a packet of crisps.
Yeah.
But that's because these messages that she was instilled was run away. If you're unsure, that's a no. That's an emotion to be scared of if you're unsure.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, it's not.
It's
you just have to work through it. That uncertainty is, you know, you can't live life without it, because uncertainty breeds knowing and knowledge.
Oh my god.
Like
and curiosity within oneself, and
like we say, there is no such thing as a stupid question.
No.
Because
never.
some people say you're only stupid for that 1 second, and then you know, and then you're not stupid anymore.
Yeah.
But even so, that can be quite harmful, which is, no, you're not stupid, because you're trying to... Stupid people don't want to learn, and stupid people don't want to gain knowledge, whereas you're asking a question, so you are clever, because you are taking that initiative to learn more.
Yeah. And if they giggle,
whether that's oh hey, do you know how to use this washing machine? Fine, okay. Like, I'll tell you.
I don't think that's such a big question.
But like, I'm saying, like, I mean,
there's 17,000 machines.
I mean, there's options. There's options.
I get confused with like the fucking knobs in other people's shower. I'm like, how do I use
I
this?
just get confused with knobs.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
There we go. But like, so I'm using that as an example of something that is seemingly quite self-explanatory.
Yeah, but
there you go. Therein lies the answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something that is self-explanatory to one may not be to another, and it's not a stupid question for you asking.
No.
You're using the skill of initiative, and you're wanting to gain knowledge, which I don't see as a problem.
And I think as someone who never asked for help, I've sort of learned, well, I look dumber asking for help and getting the right answer, or trying by myself 17,000 times and getting it wrong 17,000 times. Like, I'd rather just
100%.
ask the question, like you said, seem dumb for like a minute,
and
then do it right.
The amount of times I ask my manager, going, "What do you mean? Sorry, what is this about? Sorry, can we go over this again?" kind of thing. And I'm sure she's probably sick of it. She's probably absolutely sick of me going, "What's this related to? What's this about?
What's going on?"
But like you say, I would, if I was a manager, I'd so much rather somebody say that to me 10 million times a day and have them be on the right task than try and figure it out
and sort
themselves.
out internally as well.
And then delivering something and going, "What the fuck is this?" It's like stupid.
Like, let's make sure. And I think working with teams now, I'm sort of going back to my job transition. I'm learning with my current boss. I'm learning what not to do as a leader. And
that's it as well.
And, I'm training new people this week, and the way that I approach these new employees and interns is so completely different, because I've learned what not to do because of this man.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to them with kindness, and I think also as young people in the industry.
Oh god, yeah.
This industry is so rough already. Like, if I could be 5% nicer today, and like,
that's it.
Thank them for their work.
What's one?
Do you know how much that shit helps?
Yeah, literally saying, "Oh my god,
thank you for today."
My manager.
Are you kidding?
My manager sometimes doesn't say it because, like, obviously she's a busy woman, but when she does, I'm actually like.
But then there's the opposite side,
like,
where my boss says it, but I don't think he really means it.
He probably doesn't.
Yeah,
if it's there we go. But like, again,
from what I've told Miss Thing here, she knows he probably doesn't.
But that's a him problem.
Yeah,
There's
I know.
one thing that you're always in control of. That's your behaviour, your reactions. You can't force other people to behave the way that you want them to.
And also,
like I said, they will come to Jesus in their own time.
Yeah, and I think something else. Don't be afraid of setting boundaries. I think I was such a people pleaser.
It's hard as a young person,
it's so difficult, because you are, obviously there's a lot of authority that comes with being a child and setting a boundary, and it's like, well, I want to set a boundary, and I think culturally has a lot of things to do as well, because in Spain it's very much like, oh, give people a hug. It's like, well, if I don't want to give a man a hug, I don't want to, and I've always been quite resistant at it, because one, I'm not very expressive anyway, but if I'm uncomfortable, why should I? And it's like, oh, you're rude for not. No. So that's something, I know gentle parenting is bullshit sometimes, but that's the one thing. Like, if you don't want to hug someone...
Firm but fair.
Firm but fair. Like, if you don't want to give someone a hug, you don't have to. But learn how to set boundaries, and don't feel bad for setting the boundary.
Yeah.
Their reaction to that boundary speaks more of themselves than of you and your character.
Also as well, like, if your boundary is unreasonable, you will learn that on your own, and it's not somebody else's job to tell you that your boundary is unreasonable. It's your responsibility to come to that on your own.
Yeah, and maybe the reason why you come to it on your own is because a close friend or a flatmate has said,
chill the fuck out.
But you also have to understand that if you're setting a boundary and it's reasonable, chances are you're setting it because the person you're setting it with did something to hurt you, offend you, make you uncomfortable. So don't feel bad for setting that boundary. And
it's gonna feel icky. It's gonna feel icky. But then again, you're removing the ability to be taken advantage of, which will also feel very uncomfortable. And you will feel so much better knowing that you've set a boundary and the behaviour has improved, rather than letting things slide and hating yourself for it every time it happens.
Yeah, and their reaction is not your responsibility.
100%.
And I think that's something else that I've also been, like, that was another incredible piece of advice that I've learned this year. Like, their reaction to my boundary or my sentence is not my responsibility.
As long as you have been mature about the things that you say and collected and
calm,
of
course.
And you feel that the point was made in a nice, healthy and safe way, you have absolutely nothing more to do.
If you throw hands, I can't help you there, baby girl.
Like, that's
that's just immature and irresponsible.
That's not like...
Let's not. But
let's not be impulsive.
But if you have a conversation and they have a horrible reaction, babe, that's on them, not you. So you've said what you need to say. I think also Tom Holland recently just said, if you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem.
Yeah.
So, if there is a problem, I have that... like, I'm just a fountain of... What is it? A fountain of youth? No.
Wisdom.
A fountain of wisdom. Basically, if... My rule is, if someone, for example, your flatmate pisses you off, if it still bothers you 24 hours later... Bring it up within the 48 hours. It's, plenty of time for you to calm down, have a rational thinking with it, and, sort of have a calm mind. Because when we're angry, when we're tired, we say things we don't mean. Been there, done that. So I think that 24, 48 hour rule gives you enough time to, like, calm down, have some thoughts, speak to people, and then bring it up. But if you have an issue and you bring it up 3 weeks later, sorry, I've forgotten what I had for dinner yesterday.
A helpful piece of advice, particularly sort of with emotions and dealing with difficult situations, is your emotions are a bit like a Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah.
If you shake them up and open them, they're going to go fucking everywhere and spill over and be horrible. But if you shake it up and leave it and open it again, you're much calmer.
It'll be fine.
And there's
also,
no spill.
Never send an email angry.
No.
That's the one thing. You could ruin a lot of things with an angry email, and you'll regret it.
And an angry text. Angry message.
Yeah, I've never...
An angry pigeon carrier.
An angry pigeon carrier.
Will ruin your life, guys.
An angry letter.
Look at Mary Shelley. She's dead now. Ruined her life.
Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah. And a lot of the times, you won't even have to do the action to learn.
No.
A lot of the times, you're seeing your own friends, your own bosses. Because it doesn't matter if you're 10. It doesn't matter if you're 25. It doesn't matter if you're 75. Everyone's learning.
You're going to get fired.
Everyone's learning. Like, if you're not learning how to code, 75-year-olds are learning how to save a Word document.
Interestingly.
Like, it's not... Everyone's learning, and if you have the pleasure of learning from other people's experiences, please.
Take it.
Do so. Take it. You're getting a free lesson there without suffering the consequences.
The great philosopher Ronan Keating said, life is a roller coaster. You just gotta ride it.
Amen. Damn.
What's one... Yeah, man.
I'm feeling pretty wonky.
What's one piece of advice that you're good at giving but bad at doing for yourself?
God damn it. I don't... Hold on. Give me a second. Probably with anxiety. Like, I'm the first one to, like, help people with their anxiety and their overthinking. But the moment that I'm having a panic attack, I'm like, I don't have a brain. I don't know how to calm down. And you know that.
Alright, Elaine fucking Stritch over here.
Anyway.
No, Judy Garland.
Yeah. What about you?
Mine is... communication. Ironically.
That's another one.
Don't let your emotions run the communication. That's a piece of advice I say 4 times a day, every day.
Yeah.
Yet sometimes I don't do it.
Also, the key to good... I think especially in relationships, people say communication is key, communication is key. No, you can talk all you want, but if you're not comprehending what the other people's saying, you're not going to get anywhere. So for me, comprehension is more important.
No, four key things to
that's one of them,
a healthy relationship.
We
may do a podcast on effective relationships. I think we should.
I think we should.
So, honesty, trust, respect, and communication. One cannot survive without the other. Intersectionality.
Yeah.
Right, now, fun bit. Funny advice, but it's true.
Oh my god. Amen.
That was my stomach.
I don't know. Don't do drugs, kids. We giggle.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
That's mine.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I'm gonna have to Google it. Hold on. Please hold.
Oh, mine is, if you have a bellyache, sleep on your left side. So fucking true.
Sorry?
So if you have a bellyache, trapped wind,
on your left side.
Acid, like like you're feeling gassy, literally sleep on your left side. Google it, it's science.
Oh my god.
Genuinely, it works so.
Like
the world will either fall out of your mouth or your ass. Genuinely, it's so true because basically it all lines up. Like your whole intestinal system lines up. I can't explain it because you'd feel like they're even on both sides, but
there's a whole article
on sleeping on your left side.
No, on 18 hilarious pieces of advice.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
That are also real as fuck. We're just gonna go through it.
Let's do it.
This gentle tip. How to twerk. Step 1. Reconsider.
Yeah.
Honestly. An amazing... What's inside? Outside of the museum, never put your hand into a hole that you can't see into. Here. There.
Yeah.
Ignore GPS. Follow roadwork signs.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Everything not saved will be lost. Oh my god. Whether it's your fucking Nintendogs or like a Word document, make sure you're fucking also save
back it up.
Please. Please. The amount of times it's thankfully, knock on fucking wood, never happened to me.
Well, you've lost a whole piece of work.
Yeah, but
I've lost smaller pieces of work that have taken me a long time to do.
I might have like accidentally deleted something.
I've deleted a report that took me an hour by accident because my computer decided to restart. But that was only an hour and I hadn't even done that much. Commas are very important. They are.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Let me see.
So, while she's doing that, when we sleep on our left side, the stomach and its gastric juices remain lower than the esophagus, thus reducing heartburn and digestive upsets. Ramadan said that bit that I just read. Okay. Additionally, he said this sleep position can assist in relieving any existing back pain while also preventing undue pressure on the back. Sick. Never wear green in your dressing room.
Repeat that?
Never wear green in your dressing room.
What is that?
So basically, it's, I believe it was a woman who was in her dressing room. Oh, it's a theatre superstition, apparently.
Yeah.
So it is about... what's it from? Basically, I think this woman was in her dressing room and she was wearing green and literally got shot.
Fuck. Okay, now I know.
Oh,
that's a good one. Never put your hand where you wouldn't put your willy.
True. Is it bad luck to wear as it's based on... Oh, okay. So some believe that it's bad luck because the colour is associated with envy and jealousy. There was some superstition that basically there was a super famous actress and she wore green in her dressing room.
Oh.
And basically died in her dressing room.
Oh, bye.
Why is it most...
I think something else that it has sort of been like a learning lesson for me lately because of life events is when I'm overthinking something, I always think of the person who I'm texting higher than myself. So I think, oh, they're like ignoring me. They don't like me. They're just texting me because they're, like, forced to text me. No, everyone else has insecurities. Everyone else questions everything as well. Everyone else has moments of doubts, moment of, like, being annoyed with themselves. And it's completely normal to, like, just, you know, I think it's, let's oh my god. What's the, like, humanify? There's a human behind the screen, which seems quite cliche and, like, obvious to say, but the amount of times that I've, like, questioned my own worth because of my weight, because of the way that my body looks, because of the way that my hair looks that day, my outfit's not as cute as I thought, and I think that everyone else is judging me and everyone else is the bad guy, and I'm a horrible human being, but in reality, no one gives a fuck what you're wearing. Everyone's so, like, in their own brain with their own worries.
Yeah, don't.
Like, we're all only human.
If they ain't paying your bills, pay them no mind.
Amen.
Ooh,
Oh, that's another reason. Everyone in your life comes in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
There you go.
And you'll know very clearly which one it is which.
You might not know clearly.
No, but I think after a certain period, I know that someone's here for, like, a season. You know?
I get you.
Like, it's not immediately. Like, you obviously have to run its due course. But I could tell you right now, the people that I've cut in my life
it won't always necessarily be clear, but like I said, hindsight's 20/20, so you'll definitely learn.
Yeah, but I think reason, season, lifetime.
Oh yeah, it's a good way to be.
Reason, season, lifetime.
But also, even if you think you know, don't necessarily cut somebody off.
Don't hold the expectation for it either.
Yeah, don't be like, oh, this person's definitely only here for a season. They might not be.
Or so maybe they are.
Don't jump the gun.
Yeah, don't jump the gun. Don't jump to conclusions and ask questions.
Do you know why the present is called the present?
I feel like I read this, like...
It's a double entendre.
Yeah. But I can't tell you. I think I know what you're going to say, but I can't tell you off the top of my...
Because it's a gift.
Huh?
Because life is a gift.
Yeah, there we go.
No, wait. The present is called the present because life is a gift.
Life is a gift. And I think that is becoming more and more apparent every year.
Yeah.
As my parents grow older, as I see my cousins grow up, I'm like, oh shit. And, like, as life hits and, like, people tell me these bad news, I'm like, oh my god, I'm truly thankful. And it's not to minimize my own experiences, like other people's experiences, but I think it takes time to truly appreciate the life that you live.
100%.
It's not, like, and please don't feel bad. It's like, well, I have everything, I shouldn't be sad. No, please, like, be sad. It's difficult being a human, and it's difficult being a woman in society. Let's start there. But I think it's very difficult to, especially if you're not in a healthy relationship with friends, it's very easy for people to be like, well, you think your life is bad? Here's mine. Yeah. A, B, C. And, like...
You have to think about what you're consuming, don't you? And what you're surrounding yourself with in all aspects of life. Like, whether that's a negative job, whether that's negative friendships, whether that's sort of, like, negative life, whatever it may be. You have to sort of evaluate that and sit down with yourself and go, okay, what is it about my life that's bothering me? Because it will be niggling at you for a certain reason, and it might not be clear until you see yourself down.
And who is there to support you on the bad days? Like, if your support
I saw this
system...
hilarious tweet that somebody put that said, get pregnant and you'll know who your real friends are. And somebody replied going, I feel like there were steps that could have been taken before that. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, but it can be in this, like... It doesn't. You don't have to get pregnant to see who your real friends are. It could literally be a situation and you apologizing, and they're giving you that space.
You could start a gossip scandal like Rebecca Vardy.
Oh my god.
No, Colleen Rooney. Oh. Colleen Rooney. It's Rebecca Vardy.
Rebecca Vardy.
Gossip scandal.
Yeah, like it's if they give you the space to make you feel safe to discuss, no matter how silly it is. Like, I recently just met up with my friend. And obviously he's had a very rough year. And I was like, oh yeah, I've had a rough year. And
everything
not
is
as bad as
but
yours. And he was like,
everything
no,
is
but
relative.
you're allowed to have
yeah.
a bad year as well.
No, everything is relative. Like, just because there are starving children in Africa doesn't mean we need to finish everything on our plate till we're sick.
That's something. That's another thing I want.
Do you know what I mean?
Like me eating this is not going to change.
Because you can. It's almost like catastrophizing, isn't it? Oh, some people have it worse than me. You're denying yourself very valid emotions as well.
And I think it's so unhealthy.
Everything's individualized. So literally, like, you know, your problems might not seem like problems to others, but their problems might not seem like problems to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
and it's everybody needs where we come from.
When they're having issues, everybody needs to be listened to and supported with, whether that's just, I don't know how to use the washing machine, or I think I sharted. You know,
I'm not doing okay.
Everybody
honestly,
needs to be heard.
Yeah, and if you need to call Samaritans, they're great to just listen.
They are.
What's the number? 116123? Maybe.
I don't know.
It probably is that.
I give it out all the time. I don't know.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I use it all the time.
But also, there's like lots of other services. So there's services if you're LGBTQ and struggling with your mental health. There's services if you're homeless and struggling. Like, do you know what I mean? There's helplines for any specific problem you may be facing, any problem that you're facing, and any vulnerability that comes with that. And you know, people who are suffering domestic abuse, there's a helpline for that. You know, because that specialist knowledge is needed for the situation. Like, you can't just call anyone and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, and I think it's great that you can share these things with your friends, but I think also it's very mature. Mature is the wrong word, but I think it's like, I know where to.
But sometimes your friends are too close into it because they know you.
Yeah, which is fine. But for example, I know there's things that I can talk to my flatmate about, and she's made that safe space. But I think I also know and I'm aware that she has her own shit going on. So I was like, maybe I should seek help from a therapist.
We all go through our own biases as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, lots of people who you may tell a problem to, they're literally sat there going, mate, that's not even a problem, get over it, and it's like, well, no, actually, you're coming in with a bit of a bias now, because what should happen is, just because you don't feel like it's a problem doesn't mean it shouldn't be listened to. It's not a problem
for me.
Exactly.
And I think that's manifested quite well into our friend group. Like, have you noticed how the only one person who's not in was the only one who was incredibly like, you think your problem is talking mad shit here? You know?
What, you think your problem is the only problem in the world?
No, she always try to, like, one-up you with her problems.
Oh, yeah, like, that's one piece of advice. Don't fucking hang around with people who, when you go to Tenerife, have gone to 11 Reef. I can't be fucking arsed.
Oh my god.
Like, everybody's the same. Everybody's fucking even, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not better than anybody, and the only way that you are better than somebody is if you listen. You have 2 ears for a reason.
And 1 mouth.
And 1 mouth, so use it. Use it adequately and proportionately.
Yes.
Bitch!
Yeah.
And on that note... Never wear green in your dressing room.
Oh my god.
And if it's nice, play it twice. I'm going to start a segment now on all of our future podcasts where I give just this random piece of advice. Random but funny. That's my one for the day. Never eat the yellow snow.
For fuck's sake.
Never wear green in your dressing room. And if it's nice, play it twice. Brother.
Bye.
Bye.